How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to Airport CEO, and welcome back to Belfast City Airport. Today is the day, and I'm really excited about this one. We're going to be opening the international terminal here at the airport, and we're going to be doing it kind of slowly because I want to just see how things go. There are some issues with having two terminals at the moment. I've been messing around a little bit with the terminal controls, and I've accidentally assigned 80 security officers to this space. And then down this way, well, we have something like 32 of them. We might have over 100 security officers in this airport, but that's actually probably okay because I didn't have originally an HR director, and the HR director allows me to set shifts and working hours for my employees, which, I mean, that kind of has me thinking, especially for security checkpoints when it's 6 hours per shift. So having all of these security officers here means that they should be able to sort of swap out here and there and be a little bit happier and therefore a little bit more efficient. But we'll figure that out as we go along. I said that we're opening up this airport today, or this terminal today, and I meant every word of it. So let's go ahead and open these two stands. We're going to do this in phases to see how things go. We're going to start with these two stands, which have some seats up here. This is about the only decoration that I've done in the departures space in this airport so far. Obviously, that's going to change. We're not just going to be sticking with chairs. In fact, what I might go ahead and do is get myself some kind of bathroom in here. So let's lay out a little something. And I think what we'll do is go for, honestly, a 10 by 5 right about there should be okay. I don't think it's necessarily going to be enough space for everybody, but a 10 by 5 is a decent little start. We can leave a bit of a gap there in the middle for a door. We'll put it right about there. And then what I'm going to do is just go ahead and get the toilets something like this. So it's only going to be 8. If I go, well, I could do more. We'll do this. We'll do 10 of them, and we'll get some sinks in here, a little something like that. And then maybe some hand dryers down in the corners as well, just to be a little bit generous with it. We'll go ahead and get some tiles underneath this thing as well, just so it's detailed, I guess, and we'll get it opened up pretty much immediately. Now, you are an employee. You are a passenger service agent, so I'm not too worried about you. And do we have any flights? We do not. Okay. Well, that's fine. I'm sure we'll get some scheduled eventually. And you know, I guess while we're waiting, we could probably get another bathroom just over this way and take this as an opportunity to talk a little bit about some of the work that's gone into this terminal since that last episode. Basically, I did mention this in the last episode. I said it was a possibility. I did end up using there's a debug mode. There's like a console menu thing in this game where you can enable instant build, or you can turn off simulated construction. That's basically what I did to build all of this new airport. Now, I should say, whilst that does mean that the time requirement isn't there for building this thing, I still had to pay for it. You might notice we're down to $1.4 million. At one point, I was down below $1 million. So this entire airport took roughly, give or take a little bit here and there, it took about $9 million to build this thing. So my estimate was pretty much spot on for what I thought it would cost, which makes me pretty happy, to be completely honest with you. I'm glad that I was able to sort of predict that a little bit. But $9 million for this airport that's not bad. That's honestly, I thought it would be more. I was kind of expecting that I might not have enough money, but apparently we were completely fine with what we had. Now, let's take a look and see how we're doing. There's nothing scheduled for today. There are some flights scheduled for tomorrow, though. We've got flights coming in, landing at, what was that, 10:30? That's going to be good. That's going to be so good. What is this? We've got a Concorde. We've got a couple of Concordes coming in tomorrow. We've got the TU-144 as well. That's going to be great. I'm very, very excited about that one. Friday, we've got a bunch of flights as well. That's going to be good. That's probably, oh, hello. We got a Swiftly flight just snuck in right here as well. All right. I'm absolutely here for it. That guy's going to be touching down. It's a 787 touching down at 255. That's good. That's going to be good. I'll tell you what I want to do. I want to come in here. I want to start setting up some more seats, and I want to start opening up more of this airport. Let me just extend some of the stuff that I've done with these hedges, because these hedgerows are 15 tiles long. What I should have done is 16, because having them 16 tiles long means I can do exactly 1, 2, 3, 4 of these guys up against it, which means I can then go and do 1, 2, just a bunch of these basically staggered the entire way through here, which I think is pretty good. I think that's a good way to do things. Although I'm almost tempted to do this slightly differently. I'm tempted to just clear all of these out for a second, stagger them down this way by 1 more, and I will show you why in just a second, but I think this might be a good idea. So we'll do a bunch of seats like this. We'll get ourselves a bunch of the small ones, just not like that, just here as well. We're basically going to be packing people right in here. It's hopefully going to be enough space. But what I'd like to do is a hedge just across here and down here as well. And that's going to mean that no one's going to be walking through this seating area to get down this way. And that's kind of what I want. I don't really want people walking through that seating area. And it gives me all this space to play with for toilets and shops and restaurants, and I think that'll be good. This space is slightly trickier because there's not quite as much of it, but I'm sure I'll figure it out. We'll do something similar. 1, 2, 3, and 4. We'll do 1, 2, 3, and 4 here as well. And I don't actually know what I'm going to do with this space. I really don't know what I'm going to do with this space. That's actually slightly tricky. Let's maybe double these guys up a little bit so we have them all facing each other, and we can sort of enclose those, I think, and that should be all right. So looking at this, these seats are for these stands here. If I go ahead and get myself a little something here and down this way, we can surround you as well, and that gives us that sort of middle channel for people to walk through, which is great. But then I guess since you guys are going to be coming out and around here, what I could do is get some of the large seats and maybe just put them here. Maybe we just sort of stack these guys 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 5 of them. And then down here kind of a similar story. 1, 2, 3, maybe not 5, maybe 4 of them. And then a row of the small seats facing this way, and I can sort of back the small seats with some hedges as well, just to sort of keep that green theme coming through this entire place. So something a little bit like that, and we'll do the same thing over here. And then I could do hedges here, I could do plants here. I think I'm just going to do the hedges because it's a little bit easier than switching right now. So we'll get that going. We'll get the same thing going right here as well. And that should give us, like I said, that channel straight down through the middle for people to walk through. They're going to sort of come around down through here. They can't walk around sort of through here. There's no point walking through here. I think that's the way to go. And then down this way is going to be pretty much the exact same thing. And I think that should be enough seating for everybody through here. So let's open up a little bit more of this. I'm going to keep these guys closed just for now. But what I'm most excited about, to be completely honest, is I want to see these flights come in here. I really want to see this Swiftly flight come in. And the first one's of 787. It's landing at 255. It is 240 right now. So we should, any second now, there it is. Look at you. There are 256 people getting off of that flight. There's 168 that want to get onto that flight. And we got a bunch of people sitting out here. Do we have people going through security right now? That's not where security is. Oh, this is security. We got a bunch of people downstairs, which is great. And then moving upstairs, we have indeed got people slowly making their way through security, making their way through passport control, coming around this way. We've got the plane coming through. We have everybody deboarding right now. I don't know. Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Are they in a secure zone? Are they in an international zone? There's what I'm looking for. Now, a lot of them seem to be heading up that way for whatever reason. No idea why, but we'll not worry too much about it. Let's make sure that all of these entrances to the airport are actually set up properly as both secure zones and international zones, so that people can in fact get in and out, because it'd be a little bit awkward if they couldn't. So they can just have that set up. We'll do the same thing with the rest of the jetways as well. And then I kind of just want to see where these guys are going, because they're heading up towards the top part of the airport, and I've really got no idea why. So you are going to the bathroom. Okay. Well, that makes a fair bit of sense. Where are you all going? You're a bunch of arrivals, and I've really got no idea. Are you going over those stairs by any chance? They look to be doing, oh no, they're going somewhere. Where are you going? Are you you might be transferring actually to another flight. I guess that's possible, which is interesting. No, we got some of your people heading out that way. I really don't know what you guys are doing. Why are you going there? I am suddenly very confused. Have I not got the zones set up properly over here? I guess that's another possibility, is that I just don't have things set up properly. Oh, hold on, baggage control. I need to turn baggage on as well. Totally forgot about that. It's a little bit awkward. All right. Well, I've got no idea why they're doing that, but I mean, for the most part, everything I want to have working is working. They are coming around here. They're going through passport control, which it turns out I may or may not have forgot to put queues on. So let's very quickly get some queues in here. So this is all a little bit more controlled. Looks like a few people are struggling to work out where they're going, which is kind of weird. Not really sure what's going on with that. They're slowly filtering through, but definitely some weirdness going on. But that is our first large international flight. That's kind of great. I'm really happy about that. I'm kind of looking forward to this place opening up and being a little bit busier today as well. That's going to be really, really cool. Let's just make sure that there's actually queues here so that people aren't just swarming the passport checks here on the way out of the airport. So that's that all done. Next flight is going to be, what is it, 10:30? That's going to be great. Then 10:40. Okay. I can definitely deal with that. We have a little bit of overlap here. You're taking off at 21:20. You're landing at 21:25. Very short turnaround on those. Definitely a little bit concerned about it, but this guy had no problem getting out there on time and heading out, which is great. We had a helicopter flying over the runway at the same time, which I don't know about that. I don't know that that's safe. Oh, look at this. It's starting to fill up a little bit. That's going to be good. It's going to be good. We get all these people checking in as well. I actually sort of messed up my check-in space by not blocking off these end parts, but I'm not really too worried about it. This is kind of great. All these people going up through security as well. A lot of them kind of struggling to figure out where they want to go though, which is a bit odd. It looks like a bunch of them, yeah, they want to like cross over to the other security space for whatever reason. And I don't know why they want to do that. That's very odd. I really, These guys, so you as a security checkpoint, I mean, yeah. I don't quite understand why they would want to cross over to the other security checkpoint, but it looks like a lot of them are actually getting stuck because that's exactly what they want to do. They want to cross over to go to this security checkpoint, and there's absolutely no way they can do that because the security spaces, it's two separate security zones. Oh. Yeah, wait, is it two separate? Wait, it is two separate security zones. Hold on a minute. So this should all be one secure zone though, because it's part of the international zone, no? Is that not how that should work? Am I missing something here? This should all be one secure zone, right? Because it's all entering into the same secure space. That's totally how that should work, right? Or I'm guessing I'm wrong. Okay, I've just realized that it is all one security space. It's just that these little rooms at the side were marked as additional ones. So it is all secure zone 1. It's just that for whatever reason, people have decided that they would rather go from this side of the secure space over to this side of the secure space. And there's absolutely no way, like I said, there's no way they can do that. So hopefully they figure it out. It looks like some of them eventually give up and pathfind to something they can use. But I have to wonder, are they, oh, look at the Concords coming in there. I have to wonder then, are they maybe, are they maybe running late for their flights when they do that? It's definitely a possibility, and that's kind of got me worried that that might be the case, but I really don't want to have to redesign my entire security space, but I might have to. And I mean, it's going to be a relatively easy redesign if I do have to do that. Basically just flip it around. So this corridor, the way I have it sort of going across towards the middle and out, it would basically, I mean, I'd have to move some of the baggage stuff here as well, but basically run this corridor straight up here and have them cut across and come down through passport control. That would mean that anyone going through any security checkpoint can get to any passport control point. I just thought this looked cool. I just thought it was interesting having them loop around and then loop back. I just thought it was a really cool way to do things, but we might have to flip it. I'm also noticing that my security staff seem to be abandoning their checkpoints from time to time, which is not good, but it is very cool seeing the airport this busy. I like that a lot. It's a really nice touch. Also haven't seen much from baggage handling. This baggage claim area is not connected to a bag. That's probably why. That's that'll be why it's not functional. Let's get that all sorted out. So we actually have bags coming through here. Didn't really realize that this thing wasn't actually up and running, but now that it is, hopefully we can make that a thing. Let's also make sure that this is all set up as a staff. So who are you? No, that is an employee. He just really likes the conveyor belt, I guess. All right. We don't judge. We don't judge here. If he likes the conveyor belt, he likes the conveyor belt. It's completely fine. Let's have a look though and see what we're doing tomorrow. We're up to 160. Oh, that's a busy day. We got some Olympus organization flights coming in as well. We got some Crown flights coming in too. Very exciting stuff. Let's open 2 more stands and see just how many flights we can get in here. We're making a lot of money, I think, up to 1.8 million, which is great. This is perhaps busier than it should be. It doesn't look like it's tailing back though. It just looks like there's a lot of people. And I think the game's also starting to compensate for the fact that there are so many people by it. I don't know if I'm imagining it, but it seems like there's like less animation going on per character. And I think that is just the game being like, hey, I don't want to melt your PC. So pretty sure that's the case. That's so many of them though. I'm kind of hoping that the airport's okay. Especially with these guys that are bugging out and not having a good time. We might just need to do something about that. And I think I might be able to do something about it without having to completely rebuild my little baggage handling space. I think what we do is we keep this loop around and then we have them cut up here, go down through, and then we'll just put some little doors here. So we'd have a wall across this way. Basically, if I go into planning mode, my thinking would be wall across here, wall going up this way, and then they just loop around, put some doors there. This whole part becomes part of the security process as well. We wouldn't actually, well, we might not need doors there. We might just have the checkpoint sort of end down here and they all filter across. It's definitely possible. It is definitely 100% possible. And I think what we'll do to try and start that process is I'm just going to go in and take out all of this security stuff. And we're going to start to redesign this whole thing. This might slow the airport down a little bit. It is kind of good that these security checkpoints are, I'm going to, I think, just keep them turned off for now. We'll keep this one going. In fact, I'm going to turn that one off as well. I don't know what that's going to do for everybody, but we're going to turn this entire security end of the airport off, force everyone through here, which is going to be a nightmare. But I think long term, it's going to get rid of the confusion. It's going to stop people from, you know, having the issues that they're having, basically. And so with this mostly cleared out, what I want to do is bring a wall over here. We're going to bring a wall up to about here. I've still got planning mode enabled. Hold on a minute. Let me get out of planning mode because we don't really need it. Let's just let's build that wall Let me go and get some more walls right here. Turn off all that nasty looking overlay, which is blinding every single time. And so this entire security space comes around. Let me see what we're looking at here. So all of this is a security space. We are going to want to no longer have this be an international space. It is just going to be secure. And then the way these international things are going to work is I think I can do something like this, essentially. And that should be fine. I can then go and get myself a little door right here. This space could maybe turn into like a weird lounge thing. I don't really know what it's going to be, but let me do some walls right there as well. And if I now go to security and I now go to passport control, I'm wanting to just do a bunch of these guys. So the queue for these, let me see, where do we come out on this? I'm thinking we do this. And I'm not sure how I'm going to be able to space these out. I'm hoping I can get something that's going to look decent with some nice spacing, but looking at it, I don't think that is going to be the case unless I maybe get away with this. I'm wondering if I space them out this way, can I get some even gaps the whole way along? I absolutely can, which is what I want to do with this. So now, let me get myself some hedges in between all these guys. We'll redo the queues. I just did these the wrong way around. The queues are at the bottom. Okay, let me try that again. Okay, so this new security space is basically up and running. We're missing a couple of security workers. There we go. We're also missing some plants, which isn't great, but we have a lot of people filtering into the actual security checkpoint over here. So let's see what they do when they're faced with our new and improved passport control area, because in theory, for now, they might still complain. I should mention they might still get stuck because they might want to get over here and they can't right now. But I mean, it looks like this is working, which is great. That's obviously what we want it to do. We want it to be working really nicely. So aside from the fact that there's a scary number of people getting stuck in security over there because it's that busy, I think what I'm going to go ahead and do is basically turn off my security checkpoints on the left side of the airport. And we're now going to do exactly the same thing that we just did on the right side of the airport. So all of this now needs to be bulldozed. And wouldn't you know, it's much quicker to tear all of this apart than it was to build any of this. This took maybe 15 seconds to get demolished. I sat here staring at this thing for 5 minutes and it's still not done. So that gives you an idea of how sort of slowly the game is starting to run here, which is, I mean, it happens. That's kind of how this game tends to go after a little while. It's fine. We'll manage. Let me go ahead and just take out all of this space for now. Let me take out this whole space. Let me get you set up as a secure space. So that's how people are going to get across between the different checkpoints and whatnot. We are then going to need to come in here and build ourselves a wall that comes around here and goes up to about there. We want to get ourselves a little medium door for right about there. And this is, like I said, going to be a weird little loungy thing just because it's going to be. That's all it is. That's all it's really good for. So weird little loungy thing is cool. I'm here for it. So of course they leave like one thing. They always end up leaving like one thing that just gets in the way of all the rest of my genius construction. If they wouldn't mind getting rid of that one plant, I'd really appreciate it, because then I can just copy and paste everything from the other side. So I was curious about what the issues were over here, and what I've noticed is people want to exit their passport control and then use one of the other security exits to leave. So I'm just going to demolish these walls, because that seems to be where the complaint is. I'm really hoping that we don't have the same problem here. So I don't know where you want to go. You know what? I'm really not worried about where you want to go. Let's just get these walls out of here. It's annoying that I have to do this, but I guess reasonably it is all sort of exiting the one security area. So it kind of makes a bit of sense, I suppose. I guess I could divide that up further into not just one security area, but This is fine. I don't mind doing this. It means that, yeah, there you go. They're going to stop complaining. They will get out that little bit quicker and away they go, which is absolutely fantastic. That's what I'm looking for. I'm also looking to see this problem go away. I've opened up security on the left side of the airport now. We've got everyone coming through here slowly, which is good. So hopefully we're not going to see the complaints that we were seeing, like this guy complaining about wanting to get in there and not knowing how to do that. It's relatively straightforward, but everyone else seems to have done it. So I've got no idea what the issue is, but hopefully, yeah, hopefully this problem starts to go away. It's a little worrying. I'm not going to lie. It's definitely a little bit worrying that this many people are backed up. But to be fair, I guess what I've done reasonably is we have an airport dealing with thousands upon thousands of people. And I should mention that the previous episode hasn't gone out yet. I'm recording this not long after I recorded that one. So I'm fairly sure that there's probably some conversations in the comments about how this reasonably isn't going to be enough security for an airport of this size, because fundamentally it is just 4 security stands. That's all it is for, you know, thousands of people. And the large ones are quite thorough. I mean, you go through a metal detector, your bag gets scanned. It's a lot. So hopefully this will filter out. We'll see what happens. I think it is worth remembering that this isn't even the entire airport. This is, however, why I elected to open things slowly, because the alternative was, well, opening it all at once and then having to rebuild security and all this continuing to happen. The good news is we're almost at $3 million and we are up to 180 flights per day. So we might nearly max out our daily flights. It's just that there's every chance no one's going to be on those flights because there's not enough security. So, well, you know, you take the good with the bad, right? And I suppose the bad in this situation is that I don't know that we have enough security, for one, which is wild to say given that we do have so many assigned here. We apparently don't have enough of belt loader. Wait, we don't have enough belt loader trucks? We don't have enough. We have one assigned to every stand though, or at least we should. Maybe we need multiple per plane. It's definitely a possibility. No, there's only going to be one belt. You know what? No, we've got enough belt loader trucks. We're fine. We definitely don't have enough ramp agents. We probably don't have enough janitors, and apparently don't have enough security, which is wild. Although I guess if it's like 16, it's like 64 security for the 8 stands. If it's like 8 of them per, I don't know what it actually, I don't know. I keep hitting every button except the one I want. How do I get rid of this? What overlay have I got enabled right now? What is, that's the terminals overlay. How many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6, 12, 24, 48. And their shifts are what? 6 hours? So 96. Yeah, we need a lot. We need a lot of security here. Basically, is what I'm getting at. So let's go into staff. Let's go to applicants. Let's not auto assign to a terminal. And let me just hire basically anyone whose skill isn't in the red. All right, so it looks like with enough security officers, we can just about deal with everything that's getting thrown at us right now, which is good. That's what we want to be doing. There's a little bit of a queue going on here, but there is plenty of room for people to filter through into these queues over here. So hopefully that'll happen. Over here is not empty, but it's not completely packed either, which is great. So I'm thinking I'm going to open these terminals or these stands. I think that's kind of what we're going to do here. Let me just get myself a bit of a hedge right here. So we want that one to be 16 as well. We're going to have this one be 16. And then what we'll do is pretty much the same thing we've been doing. We're going to go through, we're going to get ourselves some more of these guys right here. And I don't know how good of an idea it is to do it this way, but it's what we're going to go for. And we'll just sort of double these up a little bit. This space is going to be difficult to get a lot of chairs into, I think. In fact, ooh, hold on a minute. No. I don't know what way I'm going to do this. I really don't know what way I'm going to do this. So I suppose that to start with, right? We'll do chairs sort of back to back facing each other. Well, not back to back facing each other, front to front. But anyway, we'll do a bunch of chairs in here and that'll be fine. We can do some large chairs there. And I guess we can do some large chairs. I want to do a bathroom up there actually, so we're not going to do that. We have got this space down here though. So we'll fill that up with some seating as well. We can do the same thing down here, I guess. We'll do some chairs about there. This could be like restaurants and bathrooms and all that good stuff, which is completely fine by me. We'll do this. And then this one's the tricky one. This is definitely the tricky one. Let me double up my seating a little bit more. Let me do another large chair, I guess, in here, if it's going to let me do that, which it absolutely is. So what about there? And you know what? Let me do another single row of these little guys. And that seems all right. Maybe there should be a gap there though, so that people can kind of walk around a little bit easier. And just because I can, I'm just going to double these guys up rather than doing the one large set of chairs. And that should be all right. I don't know if that's going to be enough seating, but that should be all right. I might regret this. I really might regret opening that one up. It might be a little bit more than the airport is ready to handle, but I'm here for it. Is what I'm here for. Let's get a bathroom over here since it is a little bit of a ways away from the rest of them. So I think we were doing what, 10 by 5, and then I think I can probably get away with copying and pasting this one. So I know I don't have to do it, and it probably takes me just as long to copy and paste this as it does to just build a new one from scratch. But I love an opportunity to use some quick build tools, even if it's not actually all that quick. We'll go ahead and get that thing in there, get it opened up. That'll keep people happy. That gives us room for 8 large flights on the ground at any one time. Security is looking like it's clearing out as well, which is fantastic. Absolutely no tailbacks at passport control either, which is amazing news. So this thing is doing exactly what I wanted it to do, and that makes me very happy. I'm also realizing that a lot of our short stay parking lots are not really being used all that much, so let's switch these over to long-term parking. These 4 front ones can be short stay. All of these are, well, actually all of these guys, and these guys are long-term. These are staff parking lots. And there are so many people that are using the subways as well, which is absolutely fantastic. I'm actually really pleased with how this airport's turning out. And then if we go and have a look, we have got up to the 8 large stands now. If we look at Monday, we've got 160 flights coming in. We've got 121 on Tuesday. So I would imagine we're potentially going to start seeing some good numbers. 172 flights today. That's honestly not bad. And I'm really tempted. You know what? We're bringing it down to 15-minute separation. We are going for the full 200. That's the goal. So interestingly, it doesn't seem like these 2 large stands actually want to fill up all that much. We do have that one Maple flight coming in tomorrow, but the rest of them actually, we have some blank spots in there. So I don't know if that's a reputation thing. It doesn't seem like it's a reputation thing. We have Allure, who, I mean, have some daily flights right there. We have Crown right here with a whole bunch of these flights too. So it's just, I've got no idea why it's not being planned. No idea why we're not seeing those flights get loaded into the planner. It might be a case of just needing to give it a little bit more time or something like that. Really not sure. Really got no idea, but it's fine, and I'm sure we'll figure it out. Now, we do, by the looks of it, have all of the available air traffic control towers that we can have, but I want to just have a little bit of a look and see what would happen if I build another one. I don't think it does anything, to be clear. I feel like I've tested this before, but I don't remember what happens if I build another one of these. So I'm going to build one there, And we're just going to find out together what exactly it does when you have two air traffic control towers, because I'm just curious at this point to see if I can get more planes in here. It'd be kind of cool if I could, you know. It's definitely something I'm kind of aiming for, is to get more planes in here. So we'll get that thing built hopefully as quickly as we can. My contractors are a little bit slow right now because they have to cross the entire map and then navigate this nightmare of an airport, but we are back up to $4 million, which is fantastic. If we have a look at the economy, we did 657,000 yesterday, which is pretty wild, to be completely honest. That's really, really cool. We did 157,000 in construction. We purchased 75,000 of supplier things today. Our daily average, admittedly, is currently negative $491,000 because on average, I'm spending $1 million per day on construction. So to say that spending $9+ million in an instant to build this entire airport has done a bit of damage to my reputation, financially speaking, it would be an understatement, but we'll be okay. Oh, I've also just noticed that we do have something. Oh, wow. It absolutely did fill that out very, very quickly. That's actually slightly terrifying is what that is, having this entire thing filled up now. That's going to keep us very busy, which I have some feelings about that. Yeah, security, funnily enough, looks to be a bit full right now, although part of that seems to be because my security guys are slacking again. Although I will say it's kind of cool seeing all these guys coming out of here and heading around this way to get out of the airport. I am kind of wondering, we do have these walk-alators that I could build that would make it a little bit faster. This is largely a one-way space as well, so I almost wonder if it would be worthwhile getting a walk-alator right there, and then if it would be worthwhile getting a large walk-alator, say right about there, and another one, say right about there. Can I get a little small one there in the middle? It'd be kind of cool if I could. It looks like I absolutely can. I don't know if it'll go central or not. That looks like it kind of is. And that should help those guys get, you know, from that part of the airport over to the part of the airport they want to be in, right? That's the goal. So let's do a little walk-alator. I'm going to say right there as well. And that should keep us pretty good. No one's really coming down this way, or no one's really going up that way. So I'm going to do one right about there as well. And then for these guys, pretty much the same thing. We'll get some that bring them up closer to the doors and whatnot. So let me just get one. Let's see. I don't think I'm going to get a large one in here, but I can get a medium one. And I'm looking to build it. I'd like to build it somewhere that is, am I going to click in the safe zone or what am I doing? There we go. Built it there, which is good. That's not that far for them to walk either. This side will go for right about there. And can I get a little small one in here? I totally can. So let's do that. And that should hopefully just make it that bit faster for people to get from these two stands over to the security exit and into to baggage claim as well. Oh, so it kind of turns out that the walk-alators might not have been a great idea, because it turns out that people now get here too quickly and there's not enough passport control space for them to actually get out of here. I mean, there is. They get through eventually. It's just that it's a lot more people. There's people showing up quite regularly, which is not necessarily a good thing. It's kind of funny though. I'm not gonna lie. It is kind of fun to watch them just zoom along there. I'm really enjoying that. It's just, yeah, there's a lot of people that are coming through here. We could turn this into some more passport control space, which I'm not against doing. That might legitimately be what I have to do here is let's just get more oh man. Yeah, let me very quickly do that. Let me get some more passport control checks just in here. And what I think I'm also going to do, as much as I don't want to, I'm going to take out these sections of wall and just have a bunch of these checkpoints lined up here. Oh, it is wild to me that even with this many passport control checkpoints, it's still not enough. I mean, of course it isn't. We have, again, hundreds upon hundreds of people converging. You know, say, I mean, this flight had 77 coming in, this one had 217, this one had 95, and this one had, what are we looking at here? If I can click on it properly, 320. If all of these flights landed around the same time, that's a lot of people going through here. So it does sort of make sense. Who are you? Wait, you are, how did passengers get in there? You know what? I'm just not gonna worry about it. It's a non-issue. I mean, it's an issue. It's an issue for them. It sounds more like an issue than an ish me, basically. What is an ish me is this security setup here. The fact that we've maxed out queues on both sides says a lot about how many people are actually going through this airport. It is kind of wild. There are currently, what is that, 6,200 people on the ground in and around my airport. I would imagine most of those are going to be in Terminal 1, but it's very cool. I'm very, very happy about this. It's really cool to see it up and going. And so I suppose that means that next time we can move over this way and start working on our new sort of mega helicopter space. And I have an idea for how I want to do this. I'm not going to build the whole thing right now. Not at all. We're wrapping this episode up, but I want to sort of just demonstrate what my idea might be. So I want to do some parking out front. I want to do a little bit of parking out front. But then I want to have basically like a really simple entrance space. Because again, it's helicopters, right? We're not doing that many passengers. So a really simple entrance space. And that can lead into some kind of hole where we can have the check-in stuff going on. And that'll be all right. So we'll have a row of check-in stuff. We'll have some self check-in stuff as well. I want that to come back into basically a little corridor at the back of all of that. Obviously maybe this is the baggage space actually. So let's ever so slightly redo that. Let's say that this is where the bags go. And then this will be our sort of corridor that loops around. I want to try my best to have security basically be something like this. So it's kind of in the middle. And then at the end of security, we're going to do another corridor that kind of comes around like this, that way and that way. And then this would be two sort of separate departure spaces, maybe linked down at the bottom as well. So this whole sort of U shape will be the departure space. And that's the entire thing. It's all sort of ground level. We will need some baggage handling. We can figure that out. But then what I can do with these departure spaces, I could make these slightly bigger if I wanted to as well. Maybe we do them sort of this size. I wanted to, this is a very rough layout. It is just going to be essentially a square or maybe a little bit longer, but I want to have a bunch of helicopters on the sides here and here. And I'd like them sort of on the sides of the parking lots. If I can do that, I want to fence them in, and I want to make something where you can sort of see the helicopters taking off and landing from this road. I think that'd be really interesting and a bit different. I'll have some down here as well if I need to. But that's sort of my idea for the helicopter thing, is nice little decorated entrance, something kind of fancy and upmarket and elegant and expensive is kind of what I'm looking for. Because again, I would imagine that the helicopters probably would be. They're short haul, well, they're not necessarily short haul flights in this game, but I'm thinking more about the types of helicopters that business executives and CEOs and millionaires and billionaires are taking. I want to make a really upmarket sort of lounge looking terminal for the helicopters. This is wild. This is so many people. It's ridiculous. In fact, I think we have queues to get up the stairs right now. Yeah, security, and it's clearing out on the left side. It's not clearing out on the right side. And I have to imagine that's because a lot of people are probably getting into security here, since that's a little bit quicker to get over to the right side of the airport. What are you guys all complaining about? A person can't leave a secure zone? That sounds like a skill issue. Anyway, despite the issues that we're having with the airport in terms of people getting sort of in and out and getting stuck here and there, I would say that we're doing all right. There is definitely a fair bit more work to be done here, including repurposing what we have going on down this way. That's definitely something I'd like to do. But for now, I'm quite happy with where we're at. I'm very excited to get this new helicopter terminal going and then a medium and small aircraft stand next to it. I don't really know what's going to happen with this down here. Maybe we do, not necessarily keep the whole terminal. A lot of this will get torn apart, but maybe we sort of rebuild some of this and turn it back into a general aviation space. Maybe we have, we keep the little runway. We might move it. There's definitely some work to do there, but maybe that's what we could do, is get rid of a lot of this building, a lot of the facilities in here, and just turn this into a generic little airfield type thing. That might be kind of fun. We could do some helicopter pads in there as well, service some general aviation aircraft. That might be a good idea, but that's still somewhere down the line. That's still a little bit of a ways away. For now, for the time being, I think we can go ahead and leave it there. I'm really happy with how this whole thing's going. Hopefully you are as well. I know it's a bit of a mess in some places. Well, security specifically, but we'll figure it out. It might just be a case of getting some smaller security stands in here. I mean, where we have, and I'm going to try and not get distracted here because it's the second time I'm going to wrap things up. Where we have these guys, for example, I could do 1, 2, 3 of these. And I mean, it has what looks like a metal detector, and it does, I think, scan. I don't know if it scans your bag or not. It doesn't really matter. For the medium ones actually, looking at it, do very much the same thing. I don't know if I could get more medium security things in here though. So right about there. That'd be 4. I could get 5 of these, which would definitely be a step up from what we have going on here right now. So maybe. I don't really want to turn off all of my security on any side of the airport right now. That seems like a dreadful idea, but it might be a way to deal with some of what's going on. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out next time. It's an issue for future me. It's not an issue for current me, because I don't know how long this video is going to be, but it's longer than I keep saying it. I'm trying to get the video lengths down. Not super short. I'm not over here like, oh, 15 minutes in and out, 15 minutes, no problem. I'm thinking like 35 to 45 is a sweet spot for this channel. It always has been. I mean, I'm very grateful that people do watch the 50, 55, 60 plus minute videos. I never thought that would be the case. It's just that for my own productivity and sanity, 35 to 45 minutes, kind of the sweet spot. Lets me get a nice chunky video up in the channel, and also lets me record more than like 2 things in a day, because between the recording, the editing, the rendering, and the uploading, like an hour and a half, 2 hours to record anyway. We don't need to talk. We don't need to talk about how the sausage is made, okay? It's not the point. We're gonna leave it there, is what we're gonna do. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. It has been an absolute pleasure as always. And as always, I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.